Hey guys, welcome back to the His&Hers, the Truth podcast. I'm going solo today. My wife's got errands to do, so I'm going to be doing a reacting video for you guys today by myself. But guys, before I get into it, right, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and of course, please share and comment at the end of the video. Guys, I keep reminding you guys, if you haven't checked it already, go check out our lives that we recently did. Definitely had some great guests, went over dating experiences, both men and women, both sides. I think it was a lot of good content, pretty much showing you guys kind of what the modern Asian sister and brother are having to deal with out there in the dating current market. Okay, guys, so go check that out. Also, we put a poll out there recently. I think it was on our Instagram. Guys, let us know what you want to see next. If you guys want to see more girls on the show, if you guys want us to do a part 3 with the ladies that we had on that podcast, let us know, okay? But anyways, getting into it, I'm gonna be reacting to a video today. It's a fairly old video. It's been about 4 years ago, and it was from a class from Penn State University. And it had to do with obviously this professor. He was kind of doing a case study research about Asian Americans dating, but also just kind of Asians in general dating in America or in the Western society. Okay. The title of the video is Asian Dating Double Standards, number SOC 119. All right. Let's get into it.
So what we see here is that when I was born in 1960, September 3rd, by the way, that's how many Asians were in the U.S. And look at the number. Estimated to be 9% of the population by 2040. So I'm surely won't be teaching by then, but most of you will still be alive. That's a lot of people. And so we've seen this shift. Asians have definitively overtaken Hispanics as the largest non-white minority group in the United States, right? Just minority in terms of numbers, not in terms of power. And by the way, 5.2% of the undergrad population at the U.S. is Asian. So it's growing. So when I was young, it's just like it was really uncommon to encounter people in the U.S. who were Asian. But now that's much less the case, and certainly here in Penn.
So I've heard that stat before, guys, real quick. Yes, so Asians are the fastest growing ethnicity or minority in America currently, which is kind of surprising when you think about all the kind of the border hoopla that we have on our southern border, right? They talk about how many, Mexican immigrants or South American immigrants are migrating into the country, but a lot of the Asians that are coming into America are obviously Asian born, not obviously of American or born in America, right? And so a lot of them are coming from obviously Asian countries. It'd be interesting to know if it all is for schooling, if it's because of, the same reasons, or is it because of human trafficking? Obviously, these numbers that are being trafficked, I'm sure, are not obviously being recorded, but be very interesting to know if they're all coming over here just to study abroad and are all coming from wealthy families.
State. 74% of Asians living in the United States are foreign born. So those of you who are Asian, especially Southeast Asian, when somebody says, wow, you speak English really well, understand, and you say like, oh my God, but I was born here, of course I speak English, and you feel some kind of way about it, and you feel annoyed because people say that all the time. Look, the reason is because for most of us, most Asian, people of Asian ancestry who we encounter are foreign. And right now, 3 out of 4 foreign born. So there's like a reason for that people are like, oh my gosh, okay? So here, students studying abroad. This is from China. So imagining just this classroom, right? 2010, this is how many Chinese students were studying abroad. Look at where we're at in 2016, and it's gone up again in 2017, 2018. So we're seeing just this massive shift in the way studies are happening, okay? Or students are studying and where they're studying. And so what I'm really trying to do right now is just get you to orient ourselves toward Asia. 247,000. Hey, I need a couple of.
Okay, so yeah, so he just kind of reaffirmed that stat that I was trying to tell you guys. So a lot of it has to do. I don't know the particular reasons, but my guesses are a lot of reasons have to do is because of how we globalized our economy after the WTO, right? We allowed China to obviously kind of kickstart their economy, and obviously America became kind of known as the freaking world's economy, right? Our U.S. currency became the kind of like the global currency, and so obviously all these Asian countries they're sending their their people, they're obviously well-to-do people over here to study, and obviously trying to learn that economy to make more money. I'm sure there's other reasons as well too, which I won't get into. But yeah, so as an Asian American myself, that wasn't born here, but I came over at a very young age. And I think of it myself as one of those Asian Americans where like, hey, I speak English my whole life. And so, I have to realize too that the majority of Asians that are dealing with the dating market in America, like he was saying, is 75% are obviously Asian born, right? So coming from the homeland. So that means they're not going to speak English well. They're not going to be familiar with, I guess, the Western kind of mannerisms, right? Our culture, kind of how we're supposed to date over here. So that's a huge part of this channel, guys. This is a lot of the my Asian brothers and sisters that are coming from the motherland, coming over here and having to navigate the Western society and the Western culture. This message is for you guys, okay? So keep that in mind. And of course, to my Asian American brothers, this message does sit the same as well too, because I keep telling you guys, even as an American-born Asian male, our upbringing was very traditional, right? Because first generation, our parents were very still rich within our traditional background. And so we were raised very traditional still. So once again, we have to adapt to the modern dating market, okay?
The guys, who's one of the guys who came up the other day who got chosen? Who's the guy that two people picked him as the handsome Asian guy? Where's the handsome Asian guy? Dude, let me tell you what this number is for you, bro, okay? And one of the reasons I did that exercise the other day is because I first thought of it upon seeing this number. All right, listen, bro. So remember this guy, the handsome dude? In spite of how handsome he is, for him to compete with an average white guy of equal handsomeness, maybe like, I don't know, dude. This dude right here, he's kind of handsome, right? Look at this dude. So for Andy, what's your name, bro? Chris. For Andy to compete with Chris on the dating market, okay? Andy has to make, on all the dating apps in the dating market, okay, Andy has to make $247,000 more per year than this dude right here. Right? $247,000 more per year to be equal to him on the dating market. So that somebody like you, or I don't know,
Okay, so we threw this stat again before on a previous video, guys, and I know I've mentioned this before on reaction videos as well too. So I don't think the professor gets into the particulars of why that's the case, but I'm going to get into it with you guys right now. So first off, right off the bat, right, we already know that the two guys that they selected for this comparison, you can kind of see already just their physical stature, right? The white guy's taller. He's bigger. Guys, hate it. You guys can hate it all you want. The guys out there that saying, oh my God, women shouldn't judge me for this, that, whatever. It is what it is. They want taller, physically capable, right, in shape guys. It doesn't matter what ethnicity. You'll notice that a lot of females on dating apps prefer black guys now. What's the stereotype of black guys, right? They got big junk. Obviously, the majority of black guys that they're referring to are like NBA basketball players, right? 6'4" or taller, right? It's just a preference, guys. So it's not an ethnicity thing. It just happens that unfortunately, the average Asian height, we talk about this all the time, is roughly 5'6" versus 5'8", 5'9" for the average American height, right? So there's things you can do about it. I tell you guys all the time, get in the gym, right? Eat more food. all of my nephews, cousins that are born in America and raised up in this freaking food, right, with this culture, working out, playing sports, they're all over 6 foot tall. So it's not an ethnicity thing. It's just your upbringing, right? It's a product of your environment. So you can do something about it. Now, obviously, if you're born short already, well, it is what it is. But you can go work out, get in shape, right? Get muscles, get the 6 pack abs. Okay. And so that $247,000 difference that they're referring to is that it's to make up for the lack of your other values, right? Now, yes, I think where the professor is trying to go here is that he's trying to say, uh, there's this ethnicity bias because maybe we don't have good examples in social media. We don't have good examples in obviously movies. And that's true. We don't. Even to this day, this video was shot 4 years ago, right? 2022, 2023 now. We still don't really have many good examples of Asian male role models, okay? But my point is, it's only due to the fact that those traits, it has nothing to do with an ethnicity thing, right? So as long as you can get your values that all women are looking for higher, you'll have no problem.
You, right? For you to find him, Andy, equally as attractive as Chris, or for you to find Andy, or you, right? Or you, we're going with women here right now, or you, right? Okay? Do you find these guys are they basically equally attractive, would you say? More or less?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to say that. But we've already established that Andy's attractive. The rest of the class did.
I think he's attractive too. I also think he's attractive.
Okay, both, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
you think they're both attractive.
Yeah.
Are you straight?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, for you might say that, and she might say it, right? And you might say it, and all the women in here might say it who are straight, right? Lesbians, well, you could be free to like them too, right? So look, but the thing is, what we know is if we put all of you together, and you're going to decide whether you're going to go on a date with this guy or this guy, what we see is this guy has to make nearly $250,000 more than that guy to be equal in your eyes, on average. Not for one of you. Maybe for you that's not the case, or for you it's not the case. But on average, of all the people in this class, Andy, because Asian men aren't seen as sexualized, right? They're just not seen in that way. They tend to be seen in a very different way. In order for Andy to compete, look at these guys, right? Come here. Can you stand next to each other? Look. Just these two guys, right? In order for them to be equal to you, right? Forget about, let's say that he's a little shorter, so they're the same height, okay? The whole 9 yards. Andy's got to make $250,000 more, y'all. Okay, so look. Dudes, can I drop an F-bomb? No, I can't, because, y'all dropped my F-bomb today, so I can't drop one. Look, $250,000, y'all, right? You can sit back and say, oh, no, they're both attractive. This is cool. This is fine. No, I like them. Yeah, Andy, Chris, it's all good, right? Because, that's what we think. But I'm telling you, it may be true for one of you, but across the board, that's the case. And that's the place of Asians in the United States. That's worth thinking about. And that's effing profound. And if you're not seeing it as profound, it's because you're not thinking about, look, $250,000, that dude. So no matter what he does in the dating market, on average, it's $250,000 more. Dude, what do you...
Yeah, so just like I said, this professor isn't RP'd. I didn't expect him to be, but he doesn't understand female nature, right? We talk about all this on the channel, guys. It doesn't matter the hardware. The software is the same, right? Women are looking for men's values across the board. Yes, there's going to be always exceptions to the rules where there's going to be some females that prefer one ethnicity over the other, right? You hear it all the time. Women prefer white guys, prefer black guys, and some even prefer Asian guys, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, women want the masculine values high. So like I said, height, right? Physical appearance, physical, obviously, your aura, right? Your physical presence. That's what what I was trying to say, right? Finances, resources, and then of course status, right? And unfortunately, the stereotype, we talk about this all the time, my Asian brothers, right? What is the Asian male value that that we stereotypically bring to the table? It's just finances and resources, right? We're not known on average to be the physically most dominating, right? We're not tall. We're not, obviously, there's this joke, right? Runs all the time. Everyone makes fun of it. No one seems to care that it's a freaking, obviously, a body shaming joke. No one seems to care that it probably affects our image as far as in the dating market, right? That our junk is small. Shoot, we make fun of it to ourselves, right? Of it ourselves, just to freaking have fun in it, right? But obviously, I'm sure that can't help. I'm sure it's helped the black guy that we always freaking make fun that his junk is so big. I'm sure it's not hurting his cause, right? So my point is, females are looking for all the same values in any type of ethnicity man. And so what this professor doesn't understand that $247,000 that he keeps harping about is just one of the values that the man is supposed to bring to the table. And when you're lacking in those other values, stereotypically, right, as an Asian male, you have to make it up in that value. But that's true of every ethnicity, right? Look at Bill Gates. Look at freaking Jeff Bezos. Look at all these celebrities who are geeky, dorky, right? Look at any freaking person that you know in your own life who's geeky, dorky, or socially awkward, or maybe not the most handsome, or maybe not the most tall. They have to make it up some other ways. And the good thing about men is we can make it up in other ways, right? With our finance. Of course, if we have, a good social presence, we're not socially awkward, we have game, we can make it up in that way, but we can only do that so long, right? So that's where finance and resources come into play, right? So this professor, I'm glad he's bringing this to light for all his students and making them think, but he's not really giving them the information that they need to realize why, right? The why is always so important. Why is that the case?
Think of that.
Seems pretty shallow to put, I don't really care how much more he makes.
Yeah.
I feel like to value someone based off of that.
Yeah, that's not what it is, though.
Level.
No, but it's not about even conscious. It's subconscious, right? Like, you may not do that in your mind up here, but somewhere in your subconsciousness, you're going to look at him and you're still going to be like, nah, but for some reason, I just like Chris more. I just think he's cuter. I just think he's this. I just think he's that. Not ever seen that, nah, but if the Andy dude made $250,000, you wouldn't even know it, and you'd be like, oh, okay, I'll talk to him, right? Like, if he's one of the Asian dudes driving around in a Ferrari or something. So it's not about just being shallow, right? It's about really understanding ourselves.
Okay, that was the end of the video, guys. And I hate this all the time. Women say this, right? You guys are shallow, but both genders are shallow. And we're shallow in the sense that we're looking for each other's values. We don't need to shame each other by saying that we want the other person's values, right? Is it shallow of me to say that I want freaking someone who's good looking, beautiful, right? Feminine, not a hoe, right? So it's no different shaming. We never shame women for their preferences. And I get it. In this day and age, we always shame men for our preferences. But the fight should be that we shouldn't shame either side for their preferences, right? So it's not shallow either way. But it just goes back to, once again, it's just that the values have to add up. And if you're lacking in other values, height, physical appearance, you're going to have to make it up in other values, right? So I want you guys to go watch the rest of the video because they go through this whole thing of not only how much more money that the Asian guy has to bring to the table to be comparable to, a Caucasian man, but they go through all other like dating things that the Asian American has to experience as well, guys. So go check out that video. But it's a good case study, once again, of just female nature, hypergamous, right? They want all the values to be high. And right, guys, so as an Asian male, right, as my Asian brother out there, I remind you guys all the time that it doesn't matter if it's a Caucasian female, our Asian sister, black female, whatever ethnicity you're into, right? It's the same thing. You guys want the female values to be high in those ethnicities as well. You're not going to date a freaking ugly white chick just because she's white, right? It's not an ethnicity thing is what I'm trying to say. Or you're not going to freaking date a black chick if she's freaking a boss babe, right? Why are black girls the freaking the least desired on dating apps? It's because they typically have an attitude, right? That's kind of the stereotype. And because by statistics, right? I'm not making this up. They're also the most overweight ethnicity, right? Those are traits that has nothing to do with ethnicity. If they lost weight, if they became more feminine, I'm sure they would probably have better results. So same thing with our Asian brothers, guys. You guys need to go work on your values. It has nothing to do with your ethnicity. Don't think of yourself as a victim, right? Just because I'm Asian, I'm not getting these results, right? It's not that. Go learn the truth, get your values high, and you'll get the results that you want. All right, guys. I'll check you guys next time. Peace. Join us as we give you guys a glimpse into our lives, give you guys advice, hopefully give you guys entertainment value as well too, and provide you guys better outcomes.
Yes.